Welcome to the DD1324 online lectures. In this lecture, we'll talk about why we program in C. What are the pros and cons of the C programming language? One of the primary reasons why we learn C is because of its ubiquity. C is present in nearly all operating systems. For example, the Windows operating system is mostly written in C++, but the kernel is written in C. Similarly, the Mac operating system is written in Objective-C, but the kernel is also written in C. In Linux, most of the operating system is written in C, although many of the applications are written in Python. Another reason why we learn C is because the core of the language is very small. It contains only 32 keywords, so it's easy to learn the entire language very quickly. Furthermore, C is the basis for many other languages other than C, such as C++, Java, Awk, Perl, and Go. So if you are able to learn C, you will have a very good head start in learning these other languages. Finally, C is a very fast language. Benchmarks comparing the speed of C to other languages consistently show that C is one of the fastest programming languages. We can attribute this partially to the enormous amount of work that has gone into optimizing C compilers. Another advantage of the C language is that it's a stable language. That means that the specifications don't change much, and you don't have to worry about a new version of the language breaking all of your old code. Additionally, C is a portable language. Portability measures how easily one can take a program that they've written in one platform and move it to other platforms that they care about. The core of the C language is very portable, although certain libraries are not. C is also a very common language. While it is quite old now, it is still very active and very much in use. Web browsers and major web servers are in C or C++, and most of the internet ecosystem is written in C or a C-derived language. C is also common in a lot of firmware and embedded systems. C is also a very permissive language and gives access to low-level hardware features. That means it doesn't stop you from doing what you want, even if that's crashing your computer. C is an older programming language. While many of the other languages from the era have lost popularity, C has stood the test of time. However, it is missing a lot of features that more modern programming languages have, and it does have some noteworthy drawbacks. For example, C can be error-prone, meaning it's easy to make mistakes. Some people compare it to an exotic sports car from the 70s, where one wrong move can get you in a lot of trouble. You really need to be an expert driver and have your wits about you all the time with the sports car, whereas a family sedan is a lot more forgiving. People do like the challenge of writing code in C, and it does reward a programmer's skill just as a sports car rewards a driver's skill. C does also not help at all with memory management, and this means you always have to make sure that you're allocating and freeing all the memory yourself, where many modern programming languages take care of this for you. C also lacks some high-level concepts like objects, which can make it more difficult to program some types of programs in C. It's also in some cases hard to extend or modify C because of the rigidity of the language. And finally, C can be difficult to understand for a novice. Now we'll briefly look at the history of the C language. C is the successor of the B language, and it was developed to re-implement the Unix operating system, and since then it has become one of the most widely used languages of all times. One of the first versions of C was KNRC, developed by Dennis Ritchie between 1969 and 1973 at Bell Labs. In 1989, the American National Standards Institute, or ANSI, established a standard specification of ANSI C, C89, which was later adopted by the International Organization of Standardization, or ISO-C, C90. In 1999, the ANSI C standard was revised, introducing several new data and feature types, giving us C99. GNU-C is the default version of C that's supported by the GNU-C compiler, or GCC. It's largely based on C89 with certain features from C99. In 2011, work began on another version of the C standard, called C11, which includes even more new features. In this class, we'll be working with GNU-C and the GCC compiler. This concludes our lecture on the pros and cons of the C language and a brief history of the C language. Thank you for watching.